YouTube. Happy Wednesday, YouTube. We'll give it a minute before we start. Peace, El Haj. Before we start, I'll make sure you guys can hear me and see me. I stay messing up this tech. Queens in the building. Peace, El Haj. Peace, MB. Peace, MB. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? Let me know if you can hear me and see me. Let's see here. Let me make sure I'm connected. Yep. Okay, good. All right, cool. All right, we'll give it a minute before we jump in. There's a couple things I wanted to discuss today. I got here in my notes, but let's wait a minute. For anyone new that's just joining this week, Wednesdays, noon Eastern, we host a meeting called Winning Wednesdays. So the idea is to discuss current events affecting the financial markets, take a look at the markets, figure out what's going on, talk about some news, discuss any major events, any current events that will affect the market. Just a general awareness class. So let me make sure I'm good here. Okay. All right. So it looks like I'm good. I believe we're live on the Financial Juneteenth YouTube channel, and we're live on X as well. So, okay. So since I got my text straight, all right, cool. All right. A few things in my notes I want to discuss today. One of the main things I wanted to talk about was the sectors of the economy. So we'll get into that. We're going to get into reviewing the market, what's going on in the market today. We can have some Q&A time. We'll leave some time towards the end for Q&A. Any comments you want to make, any questions you guys have. A couple of potential option plays I have on my watch list. I'll give you a ticker that I currently like. What else we got? I want to discuss the next options meeting. Give you a little detail on that. What else we got? Talk a little bit about a couple resources that I haven't mentioned in the past. A new class I'm working on, and anything else that may come up in the hour. All right, let's get right into it. Your time is valuable. My time is valuable. All right, so one thing I noticed that we haven't talked about in this class or any of the other classes is the 11 sectors of the economy. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. And to do that, I want to share my screen here. Let's see here, share screen. I wanted to pull up a article I found on Motley Fool. Let's take a look at that. Can you guys see Motley Fool? Can you hear me? We good on the tech? Can you guys hear me? Are we good on the audio? Okay, we're good on the audio. Okay, we're good on the video and audio. All right, cool. I always want to make sure. I'll be messing up the tech every week. All right, let's get ready. Yeah, let's get to it. All right, cool. Thanks. All right, yeah, like I said, Motley Fool is a good financial resource I use on a regular basis. They got good articles. I use this in conjunction with a couple other the financial resources I use, such as Yahoo Finance. Let's see what this article says. What are the 11 stock market sectors? So there's 11 total sectors of the economy. Let's take a look at some of them. All right, let's see what it says here. All right, so here's a quick summary of the 11 sectors. We got energy, we've got materials, utilities, healthcare, financials, consumer discretionary, consumer staples, IT, communication services, and real estate. So sometimes, some of these are more popular than others, right? Some of these are more heavily weighted in the S&P than others. So here's a quick summary of all 11 sectors of the economy: energy, materials, industrials, utilities, healthcare, financials, consumer discretionary, consumer staples, IT, communication services, and real estate. So when we invest in a index such as the S&P, we're really investing in all 11 of these sectors of the economy. So let's take a look at some of the examples within each sector. Let's take a look. Let's scroll down and see what it says. All right, let's start off with energy. Energy sector covers companies that do business in the oil and gas industry. Includes oil and gas exploration, production, as well as producers of other consumable fuels like coal and ethanol. So energy, oil and gas. All right. Let's see what else. It includes related businesses that provide equipment, materials, and services to oil and gas producers. It doesn't include many renewable energy companies. Okay. So here's some examples right here. One of the biggest companies in the world, ExxonMobil Energy, and Chevron. I use Chevron often. I pull up to the gas station. All of us pull up to gas stations, so we use Chevron as well. At least I pull up to Chevron and I buy gas from them on a regular basis. But also, ExxonMobil is considered part of that sector. So that's energy, oil and gas, companies like ExxonMobil and Chevron. All right, that's the first sector. Second sector, materials. Material sectors include companies that provide various goods for use in manufacturing and other applications. You'll find makers of chemicals, construction materials, and containers and packaging within the material sector, along with mining stocks and companies specializing in making paper and forest products. All right, so here's some examples: Sherwin-Williams and chemicals manufacturer DuPont. So there's a second sector: materials, chemicals, construction materials, containers of packaging within the material sector, along with mining stocks. So there's a couple examples right there: Sherwin-Williams, SHW, and DuPont, DD. Okay. All right, so let's move on. Third sector, and then even for me, it's good for me to review some of these sectors too, because I'm more familiar with some of the bigger sectors of the economy. All right, let's go. Let's move on. We talked about materials. Let's move on to industrials. Let's see what industrials are about. Industrial sector. Industrial sector encompasses a wide range of different businesses that generally involve the use of heavy equipment. I'm thinking Caterpillar, companies like that. Transportation stocks such as airlines, railroads, and logistics companies are found within the industrial sector, as are companies like aerospace, defense, construction, and engineering industries. Companies making building products, electrical equipment, and machinery also fall in the sector. All right, so industrials. Let's see what the quick summary of industrials is. Let's see here. Transportation stocks, airlines, railroads, logistics companies within the sector. So airlines, railroads, and logistics. So Airlines such as Southwest, Delta, companies like that. Railroad companies. I'm not too familiar with too many railroad companies. Logistics. I believe Amazon is the biggest logistics company in the world. So they may have some overlap within the industrial sector. But generally speaking, airlines, railroads, and logistics, as well as aerospace, defense, and construction and engineering. So I'm thinking defense companies like Lockheed Martin, I believe, fall in the industrials. What else? Lockheed Martin, Boeing, I believe, is defense. Or they may even overlap between multiple, the aerospace and the defense, and maybe even construction. So I'm thinking companies like Boeing, companies like Lockheed Martin. Okay, UPS. I believe UPS is one of the largest logistics companies in the world. RTX. I'm not familiar with this ticker. RTX, our largest industrial stocks. Okay, so they're considering these two tickers as industrial stocks. UPS and RTX are industrials. All right, so there's a quick summary of industrials: airlines, railroads, logistics, aerospace, defense, construction, engineering. All right, so that's a quick summary of industrials. That's it. What else we got? Fourth is the utility sector. So I'm thinking, before I read this, I'm thinking any power and light company, whatever state you live in. For example, Florida Power and Light, FPNL, I believe would fall under here. For all you Maryland viewers, something like BG&E, I believe would fall under the utility sector. What's the New York equivalent of BG&E or FPNL? I believe that would fall under the utility sector, that equivalent company. Let's read what it says. Utility sector encompasses every different type of utility company you can imagine. Within the sector, you'll find utilities specialize in making electrical power available to residential and commercial customers, okay, as well as specialists in natural gas transmission and distribution. Other utilities are responsible for delivering water to customers. All right, so water companies. Okay, that makes sense. Electrical, water. Some utility companies engage in more than one of these different subspecialties. All right. In addition, independent producers of power and renewable electricity also land in the utilities. All right. So yeah. So I'm thinking. Okay. So here's some examples right here. Utilities tend to be regional in scope. Okay, that makes sense. California, New York, Nevada, Arizona will have their specific, or even multiple companies that provide electricity and water to those regions. Utilities tend to be regional in scope, so you might have heard of Duke Energy in the southeast U.S., Consolidated Edison in the northeast. Maybe is that the New York or the Maryland or the Maine provider of electricity? And American Electric Power, AEP, across much of the Ohio Valley, okay, and southern Plains states, okay. I'm familiar with FPNL down here in Florida. What's the equivalent in some of these other states? Those companies would fall under the utility sector, the fourth sector. All right, so that's the fourth sector, utilities. Let's move on to the fifth sector. Fifth sector is one of the bigger sectors. I believe healthcare is the second largest sector of the economy. We're going to verify that when we take a look at the breakdown of some of these S&P holdings. All right, so let's see what it's about. Healthcare sector has two primary components. One component includes companies that develop pharmaceuticals, big pharma, and treatments based on biotech, as well as the analytical tools and supplies needed for the clinical trials and that test those treatments. So pharmaceutical companies and biotech companies. The other encompasses healthcare equipment and services, including surgical supplies, medical diagnostic tools, and health insurance. Telemedicine is a particular interesting part of the healthcare sector that falls into the latter. All right, so any pharmaceutical company, any biotech company, so I'm thinking biotech, something like something like Moderna. I believe they may overlap into both pharmaceuticals and biotech. Something like what else? Healthcare. United Healthcare, one of the biggest healthcare companies in the world. Something like Johnson and Johnson. Something like Eli Lilly. Some of those companies will fall into the healthcare sector. Okay, yeah, right here. United Healthcare, Johnson and Johnson are two stocks at the top of the healthcare sector. Okay, with a combined market cap of almost 1 trillion between them. So yeah, a couple of the biggest healthcare companies here, right here in the world. United Healthcare Group, UNH, and Johnson and Johnson, J&J, are in the healthcare sector. Eli Lilly as well. Yep. Andrea, 10 are. I'm missing some of these comments, so forgive me. 11 sectors. 11 sectors. 11 sectors of the economy. We'll talk about all 11 of them. All 11 of them. We're currently on the 5th, which is healthcare. All right, so let's see what else we have. So healthcare, one of the biggest sectors of the economy. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, the financial sector. Without me reading this, pretty much any bank, any major bank, you got Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, those kind of companies. I'm thinking any mortgage lender company would fall under this category. Oh, they say Berkshire Hathaway, okay, a real estate company. Let's check it out. Financial sector includes businesses that are primarily related to handling money. Banks are a key industry group within the sector, but you also find insurance companies, brokerage houses, consumer finance providers, and mortgage-related real estate investment trusts among financials. The financial sector also includes some of the best-known financial tech companies or fintech companies. Okay, fintech. What are some major fintech companies? SoFi is out there, I believe. What else? What's a fintech company? JP Morgan, BOA fall under financials. What's a fintech company? SoFi, Square. What else? I believe Robinhood would fall under this sector, the financial sector. All right, let's see what examples they give us. Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan. I believe JP Morgan is either the largest bank or it's right up there with one of the Asian banks in terms of size, in terms of market cap. I believe it's one of the biggest banks in the world. I believe it's either the second biggest bank behind one of the Asian banks. I just forget the name, but I may be wrong. But either way, JP Morgan is a monster. It's a giant. So financial sectors. Banks, insurance, brokerages, consumer finance providers, any mortgage-related real estate investment trust will be under the financial sector. So that's the sixth sector of the economy, financials. All right, let's see what else we got. Moving on to the 7th sector of 11. All right, what do we have here? We have consumer discretionary. Consumer discretionary. All right, let's see what it says. Consumer discretionary sector covers goods and services for which consumer demand depends upon consumer financial status. For example, if you make $25,000 per year, you probably buy a different car than someone who makes $25 million a year. Yep. The sector includes companies that sell higher priced items like automobiles and luxury goods, as well as leisure products. All right, so let's see where here. The sector includes companies that sell higher priced items like autos and luxury goods, as well as leisure products. You'll find both brick and mortar and, okay, here we go. Here's a good point right here. You'll find both brick and mortar and e-commerce based realtors. So as soon as I see e-commerce, I automatically think Amazon. What's another e-commerce? eBay is up there. Alibaba's got to be up there. What else? Okay, so what else it says? In this category, along with, hotel and restaurants. Okay, I didn't know that. Hotel and restaurants, all the big hotel chains, the Hiltons, the Marriotts, the W's, hotels like that. Restaurant chains, restaurant stocks. Chipotle's got to be in there. What else? Yeah, there you go. Target. Yep. Target. Grocers such as what's a grocer that could fall in this category? They say Amazon and McDonald's. What else? Cava. Okay, yeah, Cava. I ate at Cava one time. Something like a Mediterranean version of Chipotle, something like that. Yeah, Chipotle. Yeah, Chipotle, Cava. Yep. So that's a company that'll fall into the consumer discretionary sector. So let's quickly recap. Sector covers goods and service for which demand. Okay, let's see here. Sector includes companies, any auto company. Toyota is a publicly traded company. What else? What's another publicly traded automaker? I guess Tesla would fall under this as well, right? Tesla. Some of these companies may fall into multiple sectors of the economy. Toyota, I know, is a publicly traded company. I believe Mercedes is a publicly traded company. Luxury goods. What's a luxury good? Louis Vuitton. What's another luxury good? I don't know. Rolex, maybe. Yeah, I think Tesla falls under this. If it's an automaker, it would fall under this category, into this sector, as well as leisure products. What's a leisure product? Is Rolex a publicly traded company? I'm not sure about that. Rolex, I guess, would be a luxury good, leisure product. You'll find both brick and mortar and e-commerce. So what's a brick and mortar company that will fall under the discretionary sector? McDonald's. They say McDonald's. What's another brick and mortar? Target. What's another brick and mortar? Walmart. I will believe. Yeah, Walmart, Target. What else? Yeah, Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy. Yep, that's a big one. Athletic leisure wear. Yeah, so like something like not sure, Foot Locker, Nike, I guess, would be in there, right? I was going to say Adidas would be in here, right? Leisure product. If I buy some apparel from Adidas, if I buy some workout gear from Adidas, I believe that's considered leisure product. So Amazon, right? Amazon is considered consumer discretionary, but I believe it's also in the tech sector as well, right? So some of these companies can operate in multiple sectors of the economy. Women's workout company. What is that? Is Lululemon a publicly traded company? I think it is. So any company like that. So that's the seventh sector of the economy, consumer discretionary. Amazon and McDonald's are examples. All right, eighth sector of the economy, consumer staple sector. Consumer staples include goods and services that consumers need regardless of their current financial condition or current economic climate. The category includes companies in food and beverage, tobacco, as well as household and personal care products. There's certain companies. Yeah, I was going to mention Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble right there. Regardless of price, we're always going to buy toothpaste. Regardless of price, we're always going to buy toilet paper. We're always going to buy mouthwash. We're always going to buy soap. We're always going to buy other household goods, things that we need for our house. We're always going to buy them regardless of price. Right here. Goods and services that consumers need, regardless of current financial condition or current economic climate. Food and beverage, I'm always going to be buying certain foods. I'm always going to be buying certain beverages regardless of price. I'm always going to be buying eggs regardless of price. I'm always going to be buying milk regardless of price. I'm always going to be buying what else? Things from the house. Toilet paper, paper towel, soap, things like that. Yeah, grocery retailers are in this group. Kimberly-Clark. What is Kimberly-Clark? Is that a publicly traded company? What's Kimberly-Clark? I'm not familiar with that one. Andrea. Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble, they have multiple brands underneath them. Maybe next time I'll show you a picture of all the company or all the brands underneath Procter & Gamble. Coke. I do buy some Coke Zero every once in a while. What else? Pepsi would be under here as well. food and beverage. What else? Retail companies that specialize in selling staples, such as grocery retailers. What are some grocery retailers that you guys shop at? Is Aldi a publicly traded company? If it was, Aldi would be under this group. What's another grocery retailer that you guys shop at? Sanitary napkins, right? Yeah. Any kind of consumer staple that we're going to buy regardless of price, right? I'm going to buy certain things for the house regardless of price. Dish soap, I'm going to buy regardless of price. What else? Coffee, I'm going to buy pretty much regardless of price. Kroger. Yeah, there's a good one. Kroger. So that's consumer staples. All right, let's move on. About 3 more, 9, 10, 11. All right, here's a big one here, right? Tech sector, IT, information tech sector covers companies involved in different categories of IT. Companies involved focus on creating software and providing services related to implementing tech solutions like cybersecurity. Others are involved in building equipment, components, and hardware. So software, hardware, equipment, components. IT includes makers of semiconductors as well. Equipment used to produce okay. So some of the well-known brands, AAPL, NVDA. What else? This is the largest sector of the economy here. IT, tech. What else? Amazon falls under the IT as well. CrowdStrike. What is HACK? What's that one? CrowdStrike does cybersecurity. What is hack? What's HACK? What's hack? That one's also in this sector. What else? Now, we have 9 as IT and we have 10 as communication. Now, some of these companies overlap between 9 and 10. Google overlaps between 9 and 10. Meta overlaps between 9 and 10. Cybersecurity, CrowdStrike. What else? It's an ETF. Okay, got it. Maybe we'll look up that one ticker in a few minutes. All right, so IT, you're probably familiar with the IT sector. Some of the largest companies in the world fall under the IT sector. All right, 10th sector of the economy, communication services sector. Communication services sector is among the newest. That includes a couple of majors that used to be in other sectors. Okay. Telecommunications providers make up one wing of the sector, another end are media and entertainment, including both older media like television and radio and interactive media via the internet. Meta, we mentioned. Alphabet, we mentioned. And what else will fall into the communication? Company like AT&T, mobility. What else? Communication. Verizon, I believe, is a publicly traded company. Weather Channel, communication, Weather Channel, we're talking like publicly traded companies. What's the ticker? I mean, yeah, it does fall under the television category, but is there a publicly traded company that just provides weather? I'm not sure about that. Verizon, AT&T, they'll fall under communications. All right, so here's the 11th and last sector of the economy, real estate. Real estate sector is the newest sector, formerly being part of the financials. Generally includes 2 types. Some stocks in the sector are responsible for developing new real estate and then managing them by obtaining tenants. Okay. Most real estate investment trusts, REITs, which are special tax favored business entities that operate in various areas of the real estate, are part of the sector. Or what are some of the popular REITs? O's up there. What else? AG&C's up there. What are some real estate investment trusts that are popular? Yeah, any REIT. O's, I know, is one of the most popular ones. I think AG&C pays a monthly dividend. What does it say here? American Tower, AMT, and Simon Property Group, SPG. All right, so that's some examples for the real estate sector. Those are a quick summary of all 11 sectors of the economy. Just to quickly recap, let's just quickly, here are the 11 that we talked about. Energy, materials, industrials, utilities, healthcare, financials, consumer discretionary, consumer staples, IT, communication, and real estate. All right, so those are a quick summary of the 11 sectors of the economy. All right, what I wanted to do before I forget is, let me stop sharing that. Let me pull up Yahoo Finance and share that. And let's talk about, let me present that, share screen. Let's just take a look at one of the common S&P tickers. What's a common ticker? What's an S&P ticker that you guys follow? Let's take a look at the breakdown of that. Let's see. One of the most popular ones is the SPY. Let's see here. Let's just look at the SPY. Let's take a look at the breakdown of the SPY. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm wondering if it'll show us the holdings, the top 10 holdings, or even the breakdown of all sectors. All right, let's go to, I think it's in chart. Is it in chart? Yeah, VEO, similar breakdown. Let's see here. S&P. I want to see if it breaks it down by. Okay, so there. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see the right side of the screen right here? So on the left we have the top 10 holdings, the company top 10 holdings, but on the right we have. We're going to look up some of those other tickers in a minute. Here's a breakdown of those holdings for SPY. What do we have here? Let's see here. Okay, so tech heavily weighted, 32%. Financials, 14%. Healthcare, 10%. Okay, I'm surprised healthcare is fourth. I thought healthcare would have been second. Okay, so according to this, tech first at 32%, financials at 14%, healthcare at 10%, consumer cyclical at 10%, communication at 9%, industrials, consumer, energy, utilities, real estate, and basic materials at 7%, 5%, 3%, 2%, 2%, and 1%, respectively. So there's the breakdown of the sectors in the SPY. Now, what are some other tickers you guys want to look up? You guys had it. It's going to be something similar to that. All right, let's check the VOO and then VGI. Let's try that. VOO, I believe, is very similar in terms of breakdown to the SPY. Let's scroll down and take a look. Oh, there it is. Can you guys see that on the right-hand side? Again, you have tech that's first at, let me scroll down just a little bit. Tech at 32%. Financials, again, are second. I thought healthcare was been a second. Financials at 14%. Healthcare, consumer cyclical, 10 each. Communications, 9. Industrials, consumer defense, energy, utilities, real estate, and basic materials. So the same general breakdown as the SPY. What's another one when you look at VGI? Let's take a look at the VGI. Let's take a look at the VGI. I believe VGI is tech specific, isn't it? Multi-sector income fund. Is that the right ticker? VGI. Yahoo Finance. Okay, yep. Let's take a look. I'm not sure if VGI is diversified across all 11 sectors. Let's see if it is. Doesn't look like it. What is VGI? VGI, Global Multi-Sector Income Fund. Global Multi-Sector Income Fund, VGI. It's okay. It doesn't look like this one. All right, let's take a look at the, but VOO and SPY are very similar. Now the triple Qs is more tech specific, but let's just check if it does have holdings in the other 10 sectors. I believe it's at least 50% tech. I'm not sure if it does break down the other ones. All right, here's the triple Q. Let's look at its sector breakdown. Okay, so it does, technically it does, but very small holdings in. Okay, so the top one's tech at 51, communication, consumer cyclical, defense, and then it drops off after that, right? So it's very heavily weighted in the tech. Real estate, less than 1%. Real estate, financials, energy, all less than 1%. Utilities, 1.5%. Same with basic materials, 3.5% for industrials. Healthcare is only 5 or 6%. Okay, so it does technically invest in all 11 sectors, but it's definitely weighted more for tech, over 50%. All right. Yep. Yahoo Finance, and these are great resources here. Yahoo Finance and Barchart, great financial resources for us. Just two of them. I mentioned Motley Fool earlier. That one too. Check out that one too. All right, so there's a quick breakdown of all the 11 sectors of the economy. So if you invest in a index fund such as SPY, then you can expect your investment to be spread across all 11 sectors of the economy. All right, any questions or comments, please type them in the chat. Anything you guys like to discuss in the market? Anything you guys got your eyes on this week? Anything you guys are keeping track of this week? Drop them in the chat. All right, so what I wanted to do next was I wanted to take a look at what's going on in the market today. All right, so let me pull up my screen and share my screen. We'll take a look at what's going on in the market today. Share screen. Let's take a look at bar chart. All right, let me add that. You guys can see that? Can you guys see bar chart? All right, so what's going on in the market today? All red. All red. Now, I expected we would have a red day this week. We had a lot of green Friday. We had a lot of green yesterday, so I expected somewhat of a correction or a reversal. So here's some of the tickers I track. We can see all of them are red. All the major indices are red. Big tech is red. What do we see here? BTC's at 86.7. Ethereum just over 2,000. Google 167. Eli Lilly at 836. I know some of you run plays on the Mara and the SoFi in terms of options. 1389 and 1313 for those two. What do we have here? Meta 613. Nvidia down at 114. Actually, not too bad. I like that price at for Nvidia 114. Tesla down almost 5% to 273. What else do we have here? ExxonMobil 118. What tickers do you guys have your eye on? I'll give you a couple tickers that I like at current price. I just mentioned one of them. Let me go back. I like Nvidia at current price of 114. What else do I like? Let's see. Yeah, I do like Nvidia at current price of 114, down 5% today. What else do I like? I like. Let's see, what else do I like? Triple Q's at 486. Okay, what else do I like? Palantir down 4% to 92.50. I do like the Nvidia at 114, and I do like. Let's take a quick look at Google. What's going on with Google? 3 months, it's up near 200, up over 200. I think I mentioned this one last week. I do like Google in the 160s, but for a new pick, I do like. Let's see here. I do like the VTI at 282. VTI, I believe, is 3,000 or 4,000 companies. It's even more diversified than the SPY or the VTI or the VOO. So let's take a look at that VTI chart. 3 months bottomed out. 6 months, not too long ago, it was over 300. When was this? Early, what was that? February, a month ago, roughly. Up over 300. So now it's at 282. So I like those two. VTI at 282 and Nvidia at 114. Nvidia's not looking good. Let's take a look at that. Let's go back to Nvidia. Let's see. 6 months ago, year to date, 1 year. Video was what? 150. In the 150s. When was this? Back in early January in the 150s. Now it's 114. And not too long ago it was 105, 106. So I personally look at 114. Maybe if you're into options, maybe you sell a put, maybe you buy a call if you believe 114 is a support level. Oklo, I wanted to mention Oklo. Let's take a look at Oklo. I wanted to mention Oklo. Let's go to the chart. Let's go to Yahoo Finance. I wanted to mention Oklo because a couple of reasons. Let me share my screen here. Share screen. Oklo. Let's take a look at what's going on with Oklo. All right. You scroll down. Okay, current price 26.16, down almost 10% today. All right, let's see. I wanted to mention Oklo for two reasons. One of them is I know many of you follow Oklo. Many of you run option plays on Oklo. That's one reason. But another reason is I believe they have earnings today. Did they have earnings today, or was that yesterday? Let's go to the news. News on Oklo. Let's see here. Companies in the news. Why Oklo performed worse on Tuesday. All right. Did they have earnings yesterday, or is that today? So, okay, this article says right here, Oklo reports $74 million loss, but benefits from licensing. Okay, yeah, so Oklo, if you liked Oklo at, what price was it not too long ago? Let's see. Let's check his chart right quick. I actually need to put Oklo on my watch list because I know many of you follow the Oklo. All right, current price of 26. All right, let's see here. 6 months. All right, so back in, what is this, mid-February, what was it, over 50, 53, 55, something like that? And now it's at half of that. All right, so that's 6 months, year to date. Similar chart. Okay, so yeah, over 50 at the beginning of the year. Let's look at the 1 year. Let's look at the 5 year. All right, so it really spiked earlier this year. Really spiked. All right, so now if you believe in Oklo, what are you guys doing in terms of buying? In terms of either buy and hold or option plays? What are you guys doing with the Oklo? I'm going to add Oklo to my watch list. VRT. You want to take a look at the VRT? Let's check VRT. I'm not familiar with VRT. VRT. What's VRT? Vertiv Holdings. All right, let's take a look at. Is it VRT or VST? Is this one of the one you wanted to look at, Andrea? VRT. Vertiv Holdings. Let's check. I never heard of this company. What do they do? Electrical equipment and parts industrials. Okay. Currently at 82, down a lot today, down 10%. Let's take a look at the chart. 6 months. What was this? Beginning of 25, it was up over 150. Now it's 82. 1 year. Spiked. Yeah, it spiked earlier this year. Now it's pull back a lot. All right, so that's VRT. What was the other one you want to look up? VST. All right, let's take a look at VST. Vistra Corporation. VST. All right, let's see what's going on with this one. What do they do? New York Stock Exchange. What do they do? Utilities, independent power. Okay. Currently at 123. Down 6.5% today. What does their chart look like? Okay, so 123, but it spiked. Again, these spiked a lot at the beginning. A lot of these tickers spiked earlier this year. Earlier this year is approaching what, 200 year to date. Let's take it to year to date. Yeah, it's above over 190, approaching 200 earlier this year. Now it's at 123. All right, AMSL. What else? Vertiva is data center. Okay, data center nonfiction. Let's see what they're saying. Vertiva is data center power supplies and such. Okay, all right, cool. If you believe in data centers, check out Vertiv. Check out that ticker. All right. Any other tickers you guys want to look up? Talked about some potential option plays on some of these tickers. What else? Data centers adjacent rents warehouse with cooling. Okay. It just says data center adjacent rents warehouse with cooling. Okay. All right. Cool. A couple things I wanted to mention before I forget. Today's March 26th, every Wednesday, noon Eastern, Winning Wednesdays. Talk about what's going on in the market, any current events affecting the market, any earnings, any reportings, any Fed meetings, any CPI, PPI reports, things like that. The plan is to discuss current events, AMD. All right, we can take a look at AMD. Before I forget, I host a monthly options class. I know a lot of you are interested in options, so I wanted to discuss the topic I'm going to discuss in the April meeting. My meeting is every month, first Sunday of the month. I wanted to drop the link into the chat if you want to check out that. Check out that website right there. That should take you straight to the detail page of my monthly meeting. One thing I wanted to discuss this coming, not this coming Sunday, 2 Sundays from now, is going to be risk mitigation, how we can reduce risk, techniques that we can use to reduce risk. So that's what I plan on lecturing in the April meeting, risk mitigation, strategies we can use to diminish our risk. So if that's of interest to you, check out my monthly meeting, $200 a month. Every month we discuss some topic in the options market. I think in January we discussed options algebra. February, I believe we discussed position management. And I plan on discussing risk mitigation in the April meeting. I think I missed one of the topics. I think I missed March there. I might have missed one of the months, but the idea is every month I pick one topic that we need. I pick one topic to lecture on in the options market. I get a lot of the ideas from the community. People ask me this question, how to do this, how to roll, how to do different things. So I get a lot of the topics from the community. So if you're interested in the monthly meeting, check out that link right there. Andrea wants to check out actually a couple ones here, AMD and AMSL. So let's take a look at those two. Let me switch back. All right, let me Okay, so can you hear me now? Sometimes I'm messing up this tech. Forgive me if I am messing up this tech. Are we good on tech? All right, so there's AMD's chart right there. Currently at 109. Pulled back about 4.5% today. All right, cool. And what was another tick you guys want to look up? Oklo, we discussed Oklo earlier. ASML. Okay, let's take a look at the ASML. ASML. Let's see what's going on with ASML Holdings. They have agents, a huge. Okay, all right, let's check it out. All right, what sector of the economy are they in? Tech. Okay, so the semiconductor company in the IT sector. Currently 707. Okay, I didn't know it was that expensive per share. 707. Let's take a look at his chart. Let's see what's going. Okay, so it's definitely pulled back a lot. Let's check. Okay, so that was last summer. Let's go to the 6 month. Okay, so it was as high as 850 last fall. It was as low as 660 or so at the end of last year, maybe mid-November. Currently at 707. Let's go to the 1 year. 1 year, now you see that's pulled back a lot. Up near 1100, now it's pulled back to 700. Back in July, mid-July, something like that, about 1100. Now it's 700. Oh, on your watch list? Okay, cool. All right. Any Q&As? Any Q&A? Any questions? Any? I know you guys like us looking up tickers. Any questions? Any questions for us? Snap, SMCI, Snap, Lyft. Lyft. Are we talking the rideshare? Is that Lyft? Is that the company? Let's check out Lyft. And then I think I see a question. Then I'll get to the question. Let's check Lyft. Lift.v. Is this one? Is this the one? Lyft. Lyft. LIFT. Is this the ticker that you mentioned? Was this the one you intended? LIFT. Did I type it correctly? Got to look at the business model versus the charts. Yeah, true. Is that the ticker you wanted us to look up? Is that the right one? LIFT. LIFT. Is that it? Lift Power. No? Is that? Do I have the wrong ticker in there? LYFT. Okay, so it is the rideshare company. LYFT. Okay, so let's see what's going on with Lyft. Okay, currently at 12.25, down 2% today. And they're in the tech sector. Let's check the chart. All right, so here is the 1 year chart. Okay, so it looked like it peaked. Actually, let's go to the all-time. What's the all-time chart look like? Okay, so it looks like it peaked in 2019, something like that. Let's go to the 1 year. Now it's definitely bottomed out. If you look at the all-time chart, its all-time high was up near 70. Now it's currently at 12. Wow. 5 year. Yeah, it bottomed out the last 2 years or so, 2.5 years. 6 months. What did we have? So definitely bottomed out. If you believe in the company, maybe it's now a good time to buy. Let's see here. El Haj says, let me stop sharing that. Remove that. Can you guys still hear me? Let's check this question right here. Let me stop sharing. Let me stop sharing right there. All right, let's talk about this question. What time does the market close for contracts to be assigned? I had CLSK contracts that were assigned but never hit the strike. Are you able to explain? Okay, what time does the market close for contracts to be assigned? I believe it's I want to say 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Actually, I think it depends on the ticker. Some may close right at 4 p.m. Eastern. Some may go on a little bit longer. I had CLSK contracts that were assigned but never hit the strike. So are you talking covered calls? I had CLS contracts that were assigned but never hit the strike. What kind of strategy were you talking about? You're talking about a covered call? Now, if you're talking about a covered call, I had CLSA contracts that were assigned. That means they went above the strike by expiration, but never hit the strike. So that kind of right there throws me off right there. That's kind of contrary to, that doesn't make sense right there. So if they never hit the strike, I'm not sure why the contracts would be exercised. But in terms of time, market close time, I believe it depends on the ticker. The more liquid tickers, I believe, like the SPYs, close I think 5:30 p.m. Eastern or 6:30 p.m. Eastern. CLSK may be different. It may be 4 p.m. Eastern, or it may be 5:30 or 6:30 p.m. Eastern. I had CLSK contracts that were assigned, but never hit the strike price. That's kind of contrary. Those two things are contrary to each other. So you, Elhaj, you want to just clarify that? Bloomberg, Andrea says Bloomberg has closed at 4 p.m. Okay. Oh, Elhaj, so you're talking cover calls? Elhaj says yes. So you're talking cover calls. Okay, so let's go back to the question. What times the market close? I had CLSK contracts that were assigned but never hit the strike. One of those two things did not happen then. Can't get assigned if it didn't hit the strike. So those two things are contrary to each other. So just double check your history to make sure they were assigned. If CLSK went above your strike price before expiration, that doesn't automatically mean your shares are sold. So check your holdings. Check if you still hold the CLSK shares. That means the contracts were not assigned. So double check your history, Elhaj. Any comments or questions? I don't want to get too deep into the options. I'll just give you a quick overview. But any general questions, comments, or questions, please drop them in the chat. Nonfiction 12 says, I wonder if CLSK hit the strike at some point prior to expiration and then came. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Exactly. So if we're running cover call plays and the ticker goes above strike before expiration, that does not automatically mean the shares get sold. If CLSK were to close above the strike at expiration, your shares will get sold. If CLSK went above strike and then came back down, you may still own the shares. All right, so just double check that. Nonfiction says, I've heard early assignments can happen. Yes, they are possible. They are possible. Early assignment is possible. So if we're talking cover calls, we sell our calls at, say, 15 strike price, and the ticker goes up to 17. That doesn't automatically mean we'll sell at 15 as soon as the ticker hits 17. What matters is the closing price. But it is possible your shares get sold at 15 if the ticker's at 17 prior to expiration. All right, just to recap today, we talked about the 11 sectors of the economy. We looked up several tickers, looked up their charts. We talked a little bit about the monthly meeting, talked about a couple option plays. If you want a more detailed conversation on options, consider joining the monthly meeting or consider checking me out on my website, errolcmango.com. I offer multiple classes through the Black Business School. Any technical support, any technical issues, just reach out to the Black Business School, email them, support@theblackbusinessschool.com. This class meets every Wednesday, noon Eastern. We discuss current events affecting the market. We'll look up some tickers. We'll leave some time for Q&A, open discussion, things like that. Hopefully these meetings are a value add for you. Hopefully you get something out of them. Anyone new, just check out the Black Business School. Great free resources every day, great classes every day. Last night there was a crypto meeting discussing, there was a guest discussing crypto, how to store your crypto, best practices. Tonight's Wednesday, so they have the book club. So check out the Black Business School, a lot of great free resources. Any final comments or questions? Let's check. Let's see here. What services are included in 200? We just talked about that a couple minutes ago. I'll lecture on a particular options topic this coming month. I'll talk about ways to mitigate risk. We'll go over example plays, example option plays, things like that. Any final comments or questions? Drop them in the chat. The replay should be available on the Financial Juneteenth shortly after we close today. So if you missed some of the earlier discussion, you can always just check the replay. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. This is one way we can level each other up, right? We don't need anybody's permission, approval, or validation. We can teach ourselves. Anything else? Anyone else? Before we wrap. Just to recap, what do I see in the market? I see all red in the market today. BTC at 86.6. I don't see any ticker green that I follow. I see some green, but not in any of the mega caps, not in any of the indices. Crypto, two leading cryptos I see are down. So quick recap so far today, Wednesday, March 26th, all red. But then again, there's great opportunity everywhere. You just have to have the right glasses on. All right, y'all, I don't see any final comments or questions, so I'm going to check you out next Wednesday. In the meantime, go get what you deserve. Peace.